On Monday, July 16, the state leaders of United States and Russia will meet for their first bilateral summit in Helsinki. They have already met twice at international events and also have spoken on the phone several times. Just last week, Trump made some surprising statements claiming that Putin is no longer an enemy but a competitor and that he is fine. Just at the same time, there were announcements that the war with China had begun. So how do these contradictory statements fit together? Against this background, Trump and Putin will meet in Helsinki next Monday, which will also mark the beginning of a new bipolar world order 2.0, based on a systemic rivalry between the United States and China, with free riders such as Russia, India and the European Union positioned in between. Back in 1975, the Western Bloc and the Soviet Union bloc met in Helsinki and agreed on a final act with 10 principles which were guiding the international relations during the Cold War and after the collapse of the Soviet Union. However, Trump and Putin might declare new rules of the game, which will reflect the great powers competition and the flux of the global affairs. The meeting of Trump and Putin tête-à-tête will address the broader picture of their geopolitical and geoeconomic interests in the Middle East and beyond, particularly avoiding sensitive issues such as sanctions, Ukraine, the annexation of Crimea or even Syria, perhaps with the exception of coordination of efforts there, and will most likely focus on Iran, North Korea, nuclear non-proliferation and arms control. What is the common denominator for Trump and Putin? It is about the end of the Helsinki world order as we know it, which will also mark the destabilization of the Western Bloc of the European Union and NATO member states. Most importantly, Trump will seek to break the Dragonbear, which is a unique systemic bond between China and Russia, by playing them against each other and by coming closer to Russia, which is why Helsinki summit is so important for him. Russia will also gain geopolitically because it will be re-invited to the great powers politics after its isolation since 2014. These developments might endanger the European Union unity by creating dividing lines among the European Union member states along American and Russian interests in the old continent. So the summit between Trump and Putin next week is not only about the bilateral relations between the United States and Russia, but it is much more about the global order. The open question is whether we will be facing a triangular relationship between the United States, China and Russia, and in what kind of formation. Will it be the Dragonbear against the United States, or maybe even the United States and Russia against China? And where exactly is the place of the European Union in these formations?